Hey everybody, Mike with 31 back here for FSI DFS. Sorry, my camera's not working as normal, so I just shut it off rather than mess around with it so we can get to you this information. Got a pretty big slate on Saturday, a couple smaller slates. We're not going to cover a two-game slate, broken up on DK, and a four-game slate on FanDuel that starts at like 3 o'clock. So maybe I'll throw out some notes if I get a chance for the FanDuel one, but we're primarily going to cover the main. So first game, we have maybe a little bit rain. Cincinnati and Washington, Luis Cisse and Pablo Espinino. I would recommend either pitcher in this game. I know McKinley recommended the Washington young guy yesterday, and I was actually on board with that too. I know it didn't work out, and we're sorry for that. But the guy's a top 15 prospect in baseball and looked really good in the minors and was stretched out. So against the Cincinnati team, on paper it looked good, but in real life, that's why they play the game, and it didn't work out. So I think if you want to try either one of these pitchers today, potentially, I'd take Espinino. He at least has a little bit of experience up here in the major leagues. Not his first start, but I would not play Cisa. So I think both these teams come into play, especially Washington, if you're looking for cheap pieces. Just watch the weather forecast on that. Tigers and Rangers. Erod makes his second start after coming back from an absence for personal reasons. Looked pretty sharp in that. Struggled early in the season, but I think, against this Texas team, he could potentially do good. I think he's going to be quite popular. He's probably my second favorite cheap pitcher here. Dallas Keuchel on the other side has been a journeyman. End of his career, kind of really struggling. So even though the Tigers don't have much power and stuff, they might be actually in play today as a sneaky stack against them. Texas, I think, would be a number one leverage stack because I think Erod is going to be very popular just in his price range and pick up after his last performance and pick up some ownership. Padres and KC, Yu Darvish versus Lynch. I think Darvish would probably be a third best pitcher on the slate here. San Diego is going to be the top offense against Lynch. Wouldn't play Lynch, and KC is only in the 150 max. Really not super interested in them today against Darvish. Arizona and the Chicago White Sox, we have Merrill Kelly and Davis Martin. Kelly, I think, is definitely in play, probably the riskiest of the higher pay up pitchers. So I put him fifth in line here. And Davis Martin on the other side, not interested in at all. Arizona, I think, definitely makes the top GPP stack today against him. And then the White Sox, have been so erratic. I mean, they could potentially get to Kelly, but they're pretty right-handed heavy. So I think they fall in the mid-range of GPP stacks today. Colorado and the Mets, Kyle Freeland, David Peterson. You have two left-handers going against each other. Peterson's definitely a no. Mets are a terrible matchup, and he's not a great pitcher, even outside of course. And David Peterson has had some struggles, and Colorado earlier in the season was great getting right-handed hit, left-handed pitching, but Connor Joe's really cooled off. I mean, still have Iglesias, Rogers, Cron, and Grichuk here, and maybe Montero, their young guy at first base here, but they don't have Brian in the lineup, and they haven't hit well recently. So I think Peterson's definitely in play. And in FanDuel, he's super cheap. He's only like 7,500, so definitely a really, really good play there, top medium range play. And the Mets would be my second favorite stack behind San Diego. Cubs and the Brewers here. You have Drew Smyly and Brandon Woodruff. Woodruff is going to be your SP1 in all formats here. He's got a great matchup here against the Cubs. They've got some strikeouts. He's been in good form. So just lock him in and cash there. As your SP1 on DK and as your pitcher on FanDuel, there's plenty of value and to get the bats you want with him. Drew Smyly on the other side, not really interested in. I really like Milwaukee righty against him, so they're my fifth favorite stack of the day. And the Cubs on the other side would just be a leverage stack against Woodruff. Baltimore and Houston, Dean Kramer and Urquidy. Kramer, no, not interested. Decent pitcher, but Houston's a terrible matchup. They're good offense and don't strike out much. Urquidy on the other side is actually he had one bad game, but he's actually had quite the string of good quality starts and has done pretty well. I know this Orioles team has hit better recently, and they've got some lefties there, so I think they make sense in the GPP. But they'd be my 10th favorite team overall today, probably. Maybe even my 12th if you figure in like the cheapness of like Washington, Cincinnati can bring for you in stacks. And then Houston on the other side would be my fourth favorite team against Kramer. Next up, maybe a little bit rain in Minnesota. Only about 30% chance. I think they'll probably get it in. Alex Comins did great. Both decent mid-range pitchers. They're my bottom two, ranking 4 and 5 in the mid-range for me. So you can play them if you're doing multi-entry field, but I would rather take Peterson, Urquidy, and Montgomery over them. both offenses, same thing. San Francisco is relatively cheap. I prefer Washington or Cincinnati today in their matchup, but they also have rain going on. So, I mean, that kind of neutralizes that. And then the Twins, I think, would be my second favorite GPP stack. They just, even without Buxton, I think they have enough here against Cobb to struggle a little bit to maybe put up some decent runs for you. So Atlanta and the St. Louis Cardinals. We have Charlie Morton and Jordan Montgomery. So both of them are very, very good pitchers that we have. So I don't think I would really want to take either one of the offenses here. Both pitchers I think are in play. Montgomery's been great since he's actually come back since being traded and had some really, really strong games here. The Braves strike out. I know they put up some crooked numbers last two games, but they should be decent going forward. And I don't think I'd really play the Cardinals against Morton. Yankees and Athletics, we have German against Euler. German hasn't missed many bats yet, but this A's team does have much power, so I think he's pretty decent to play. Euler just definitely fade. Yankees would be a third favorite stack here. A's, maybe some cheap plays if you think German continues to struggle, but I don't think there's much there. Final game, Cleveland and Seattle. Plesac and Castillo. Castillo's in a really good spot here. Against Cleveland, they're a tough matchup. We're not striking out, but they really don't have much power, so you should be able to definitely pay off his 10-1 price tag here. Probably be my second favorite pitcher. A great pivot off Woodruff. If you can pair the two of them in cash and DK, that's perfectly fine. Plesac not really playing here. Seattle, I think, would make my fourth favorite GPP stack here. I like the White Sox, Minnesota, and Arizona over them, and Cleveland. It's just in the 150 max spin. They're not super exciting. So look at the lineup builds and get you on your way for your day. So definitely taking Woodruff. I built the rest of my lineup to see where I'd get for SP2. I ended up between Peterson, Urquidy, and Montgomery. I think Peterson's where I'm going to lead there. Catcher, you can punt down, or actually like the Washington guy, I'm going to pair them with San Diego here. So you can take Voit from Washington or Bell. Both of them have struggled a little bit, but have been decent recently there. Second base, figure out if you want to take a one-off for Cronenworth. Machado, Kim at shortstop should lead off here against lefty. Profar, Thomas, who's minimum price for Washington, and then figure out who we want for your final outfielder. FanDuel, taking Woodruff again, Machado, Kim, Profar, Thomas, and then I'm going to mix in some Yankees here. So second base, I'll probably take Torres or DeLemayhew, taking Stanton. Might try to get like Donaldson or Judge in here, see who else I can fit in with the rest of the depending on who I go with second base and first base. Might take some more Washington guys who are really cheap. The first baseman, Messi or somebody, is pretty cheap also, and decent, usually hits second. GPP, they're going to take German again. My SB2 is going to be predicated on what I come up with lineup. So probably going to put Country here. Probably going to take Nito if he's in at 2K at the minimum because I have a Met stack going. So Alonso, Altuve, Bregman, Lindor, Ruff, and Kanya. If you can get up to if one of these guys doesn't play, the higher price guys between like Alonso, Altuve, or Bregman, if you can get up to Marte, that's definitely a really good play there. I don't think you can get to Alvarez or Tucker either here for the stack, but if you want to get rid of Houston and go Milwaukee there, that's fine. You probably have to take a third baseman because I don't think there's a guy that really fits as right-handed, but you'll probably be able to get like Urias at second base there and then take like Renfroe or McCutchen at the outfield. And finally, DK, GPP, Urquidy, Alonso, Urias. Third base is where you're going to take your one off because there's nobody that really fits in either stack that I like there. Lindor, Ruff, Renfroe, or McCutchen. And then, like I said, if you can get up to Marte, that's great. If you want to play Renfroe and McCutchen, that's great. If you want to play one of these outfielders in utility, that's fine too. But I really want to take four Mets and get some right-handed Milwaukee bats in there and then fill in third base with one off. If you want to change your Urquidy as pitcher, that's fine too. So you can drop down to Peterson if you're still taking that one off at third base. That's going to give you a ton of salary there to pay up for your outfielders and utility spots. So pretty much what we have for you today. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. As always, hit me up at Twitter, MegaRover31. Please like the video if it helps you out. Share with your friends so it can help them out. Also, subscribe to our channel so you know when our videos are coming out. And good luck in your contest today, and we will see you next time.